Panthers. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And off we go from uptown Charlotte. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And they are not going to let him turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Mills. That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
From just shy of midfield, Mills. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A first down there on a pickup of 25. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Mills now. And this is going to be home in by the tight end Andrews. Touchdown! Mark Andrews, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Panthers are on the board here first in the season opener. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Play action. It's Fields. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Off play action. Fields. He's going to look deep for Watkins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Well, CD, when you combine accuracy with a big arm, you get throws like that. And Justin Fields may very well be making these kinds of plays at the pro level for years to come. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Right back to Sanders on first down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
On 2nd and 12, Fields. Throw left side complete. That's Watkins. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They'll run with Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here. That sends him to... direction and leads to 2nd down. On play action, Fields. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Justin Fields, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Browns respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Extra point safely through, and we are tied at 7. 7-7, our score after 1. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Claybrooks going to bring this one out. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked out officially at the 21. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Perfect start to the season on their first drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in week 1. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Carolina. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Browns drive about to get started. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target, but it'll be second down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He's got a man. Complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Fields. Going deep here for Watkins. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Panthers will take over here just shy of the 30. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make him make someone miss in the open field.
The tackle by Cole Holcomb. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing, Mills. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw is Mills. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here's Ward to return. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
He's got a man, complete. 33 yards that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Running right, here's Sanders.
Fred Warner, first-time All-Pro in 2020, in on the stop defensively.
2nd and 9. Fields. They're going for Hamler, but this is intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kyle Van Noy. Nice footwork at the 25. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he will take it across for Panthers touchdown. Austin Ekeler, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Fields throw complete to Rager.
They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He's going to look deep for Watkins.
Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time.
Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Panthers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Mills. He'll get this to Ekeler. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. They go play action. Mills. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. He's been the forgotten man in this 1st half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a 1st down.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown.
Austin Ekeler
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Panthers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Rosas good with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Browns drive about to get started. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker.
It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after that first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in Week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Browns drive about to get started.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. A play fake, now Fields to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Carl Lawson. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Here's Fields. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The linebacker, Robert Spillane, making a big play. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Fields. He'll go up top here for Hamler. That's caught at the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. K.J. Hamler, 68 yards. And the Browns are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. The extra point up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Clay Brooks going to bring this one out. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drop.
There he goes, left side. 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina.
Austin Eckler, 83 yards. And the Panthers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. The Browns drive about to get started. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Fields going deep here for Watkins. And this will be caught at the 30.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Fields now to throw. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Fields.
And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that. Job tapping both of them down. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
And that is no good. And this will stay a 3-touchdown game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Boy, 194 yards rushing for him now here in Week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign. Mills on 1st down. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. Mills.
That's going to be caught. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
Eckler is into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Well, Charles, no matter what the prognosticators say before the season, whether they think you're going to be good, bad, or somewhere in the middle, you never quite know how Week 1 is going to play out. But for them, it has been an impressive performance, and they are well on their way to a 1-0 start.
Yeah, it's a lot like opening up presents, isn't it, partner? You're not quite sure what's inside, but you're hopeful, right? In this case, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they need.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Panthers will take over here just shy of the 30.
They started on the ground with Eckler. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Mills throw caught by Bird here.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now a give running left is Eckler. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. the things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays. Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Panthers are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Rosas good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. We'll see a return here from the end zone. The Browns drive about to get started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot on the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Clay Brooks going to bring this one out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Fields. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Now it's Fields. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jalen Reagor from 17 yards out. And the Browns get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Point after, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down now to 22. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, here's Mills. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Panthers have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that's going to play big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw them.
He's got a man, complete. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Eric Rowe.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And trouble there on the kickoff as that goes out of bounds. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Mills throw taken in by Diggs.
The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. 9 yards, and that leaves them just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Back to throw. Fields.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
That's Azeez Al-Shaair getting through for the sack that time. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of the season.
So for Carolina, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets.
You spent your whole life trying to blow up.